Guys, welcome back for our final installment of the Horizon Zero Dawn Master Machine Hunting series. Horizon Forbidden West is only a couple days away at this point, and I'm so stoked for it. Of course, I'm excited to play it, but I'm also excited to bring you guys new machine hunting guides and other types of content. So if you're into that, there's actually a secret red button down below that you can click to make sure you know when I've got a new video for you. Go ahead and give it a click, it's actually pretty cool. Anyway, for the last video in this series, we're covering my personal favorite machine, the Fireclaw. Now, Fireclaws are definitely designed to be the toughest machine in the entire game. The demonic variant, which is pretty much the only one you're going to ever find, has 9,375 HP, which is higher than pretty much any other machine in the game. The only exceptions would be the demonic Thunderjaw in the Frozen Wilds and the final boss fight in the main quest line, which I won't spoil for you in case you haven't finished the game yet. Fireclaws are also very fast and have some very strong melee attacks that are, of course, enhanced by fire. Even when you think you're safely to the side or behind them, they'll quickly spin to attack you when you least expect it. They're also just really huge machines and very imposing when you get close to them in a fight. Their size and reach with their massive arms makes it difficult to dodge their attacks even when you feel like you're doing a good job timing your dodges. Not to mention, they can roast you from a distance with some devastating fire and ranged attacks as well. Fortunately, besides the one dual Fireclaw fight that takes place in a quest, you'll only ever have to fight one of these monstrosities at a time. And I've got the strategy for you guys to master Fireclaw hunting, so let's dive into it. First off, because Fireclaws are fire-based machines, they of course have a weakness to freeze. However, it is by no means easy to freeze these guys. Trying to freeze them with arrows using anything but a fully modded Banuk champion bow will take a very long time. Even using a sling and freeze bombs will take 6 or 7 shots to fully freeze a Fireclaw, and you're going to give it plenty of opportunities during all that time to deal a bunch of damage to you. Plus, it can use its Firestorm ability to remove the freeze effect you've been working hard to build up. So we definitely want to freeze the Fireclaw, but we need a way to do it without exposing ourselves to taking a bunch of damage. This is where shock arrows are going to be key. The Fireclaw has 6 power cells on its back, 4 clustered on its hindquarters, and 2 under a protective plate near its shoulders. We're going to focus on that cluster of 4, both because they're unprotected and because they're a bigger target to hit. To open the fight, we'll sneak up to the Fireclaw and hit one of these power cells with a shock arrow. I'll be using a Shadow Warbow to do this, but you can use any bow with shock arrows. You'll know you've hit the power cell when you see electricity arcing all over it and hear an electrical whining sound. After a few seconds, it will explode and stun the Fireclaw. Make sure you're a good distance away or you'll also take a pretty good hit from this explosion. Now this is our opportunity to freeze it. To get the freezing done before the shock effect wears off, we're going to use freeze bombs. I'll be using a Shadow Sling loaded up with purple freeze mods, and I would recommend you do the same. Alternatively, if you have the Ice Rail, you can freeze the Fireclaw even faster with that. Just keep in mind Ice Rail ammo is very expensive, so you're going to burn through a lot of chill water using it. However you choose to freeze the Fireclaw, the next step is to focus on the weak points with precision and hardpoint arrows. Those weak points are going to be the fire unit on its chest and the fire sacks on its shoulders. The fire unit drives pretty much all the Fireclaw's fire-based attacks, so we want to focus on destroying that first. Destroying it will deal a good chunk of damage, and disabling the fire-based attacks will give us a nice advantage. In my opinion, the best way to destroy the fire unit is by hitting it with a triple shot of precision arrows, followed immediately by a triple shot of hardpoint arrows. Now the fire unit wraps up around the sides of the Fireclaw's chest a bit, so if you time it just right, you can hit the exposed side of the fire unit right after freezing the Fireclaw while it's starting to stand up. If you can't deal enough damage to it before it stands up to explode the fire unit, don't sweat it. Just be ready to line up another shot once the Fireclaw stands up. A third volley should be enough to destroy the fire unit. Now at this point, we want to switch back to freezing the Fireclaw, but it's going to be coming after us now that it's up, and it's mainly going to use melee attacks because we've destroyed the fire unit. To deal with the melee attacks, you need to dodge directly under the Fireclaw when it comes at you. It will take some practice to get the timing just right, but you'll be able to dive under it and through its legs to avoid taking damage. I know it's tempting to dodge to the sides, but the Fireclaw is so big and can reach so far that this really isn't a good option. More often than not, it's going to catch you with its claws while you're trying to dodge around it. The best tip I can give you on the dodge timing is to wait a little longer than you think you should before trying to jump through its legs. If you practice this a bit, I promise you'll get it down. Okay, so let's get back to refreezing it. While we're dodging the Fireclaw's attacks, we want to be hitting it with our freeze bombs whenever we get an opportunity. Now you might also want to be ready to fire off another shock arrow if you get a good opening to hit those power cells again, but I wouldn't recommend this until you've practiced fighting Fireclaws for a while. The Fireclaw will often turn around very quickly and smack you while you're trying to line up a shot. Focusing on getting it frozen again is the best approach. Once you do have it frozen again, it's time to hit those fire sacks on its shoulders. Now I prefer to do this with triple shot hardpoint arrows, but feel free to use a sharp shot bow and precision arrows if that's your thing. I'll be using a shadow hunter bow here loaded up with damage mods. Remember to use the concentration and hunter reflexes skills to make lining up your shots easier. It will take a few volleys of arrows to knock off the armor plating and destroy the shoulder sack, but just keep at it. Once you do get it, the explosion will deal a nice chunk of damage. Remember, if at any point you find yourself without a clear shot at the shoulder sack, go ahead and let your shot off anyway. As long as the Fireclaw is still frozen, you'll get a nice damage multiplier even just hitting it in the body. Once you've destroyed one shoulder sack, refreeze the Fireclaw and destroy the other. At this point, the Fireclaw will be pretty low on health, so simply freezing it again and hitting it in the body should finish it off pretty quickly. Alright, I know that was a lot to take in, so let's take a quick look at armor and skills and then we'll put it all together in the live combat. For armor, I'll be using the Karja Blazon Heavy outfit, which will give us some great resistance against the Fireclaw's fire-based attacks. I've also loaded it up with a couple purple melee resist mods. As for skills, you're going to want triple shot, fast reload, concentration plus, and dodge prowess. You can certainly take down Fireclaws without these skills. For example, you could get away with just double shot, but the Fireclaw is pretty much the latest late game machine there is, so I think it's fair to say you should have these high level skills unlocked if you want to take them on. As always, I'll also be using the Hunter Reflexes skill. Alright, let's take a look at the live combat. Alright guys, so we're here at the Fireclaw site. Now if you're not seeing this site on your map, it's because you need to complete the Firebreak quest, and then there's an errand after that that's called, I think, Out of the Cauldron. You need to complete that, and then you also need to complete the Claws Beneath quest. But once you do all three of those, this Fireclaw site will be here, and you can come back to it whenever you want. And I'll show you my difficulty levels very hard. That's what I'm using for all the videos in the series. And before we jump into this, I'm just going to preload 3 precision arrows and 3 hardpoint arrows. So those are ready for us. And I'm also going to switch over to my fire resist potions and put one of those on. That's always a good idea with the Fireclaw. Although our outfit does have a lot of fire resist, which is going to help us out. So now we just need to get a clear shot on his the power cells on his back. So I'm actually going to take this high ground here and hit them like that. And then we want to make sure we're a good distance away when this explosion happens and have our freeze bombs ready, start freezing them right away. Now you can see on his side here, that glowing part is his fire unit, so I'm going to hit those right away as soon as I freeze him with precision arrows and hardpoint arrows, and we'll explode that. And now he's unfrozen, so we're going to go back to freezing him. So we have him frozen again, so I'm going to go triple hardpoint arrows to the shoulder. Dodge through him for that, through his legs. Try to focus on these shoulder sacks. There we go, got one of them. You can dodge that any direction you want. And then we have to freeze him again. Through his legs. I know that's counterintuitive, but it really is the best way. And dodge prowess helps a lot with that. Now if you're ready with it, you can hit those power cells when you're dodging through, right when you turn around if you have a shock arrow ready, but we're just going to stick with freezing him and hitting these shoulder sacks for now. You can dodge under that one too. And I'm not really wasting time while he's frozen, trying to line up perfect shots. I just really want to deal as much damage as I can while he's still frozen. So even though I don't have a good shot, I'll just, hit him in the body. You can tell he's almost dead here. But we'll try to finish this off with a nice shot on the shoulder sack. So we'll freeze him again. That's that really fast turnaround that he does. It's hard to be ready for that. So let's get a nice angle on this shoulder sack here. And he just needs a little more damage. He might even burn to death, but we'll hit him right in the face. There we go. As you guys can see, opening by shocking a power cell was key to getting us an early advantage in the fight. Without this step, it would take us a while to destroy the fire unit, giving the Fireclaw an opportunity to come after us with its many powerful fire attacks. You also saw how important it is to get the dodge timing down to avoid all of its melee attacks. Like I said earlier, I know this can be frustrating to get the hang of, so don't worry if you're not getting it right away. Just keep practicing with intention and I promise you'll get it down after a few fights. Now, if you're struggling to implement this strategy, I do have some extra tips for you guys. First off, another tactic you can use is tying down the Fireclaw with a Shadow Ropecaster to give yourself opportunities to hit power cells or freeze it. This will make it much easier to position yourself to hit the power cells with shock arrows, land freeze bombs, or line up shots on those vulnerable components. I'm sure some of you also noticed that I wasn't using the Banuk bows. I did that because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that haven't collected enough Blue Gleam to buy them all, so I wanted to show that you can take on Fireclaws without them. That being said, the Fireclaw fights are really where the extra power of the Banuk bows can shine. With the Banuk Champion bow, you'll be able to freeze them with just a couple of triple shot freeze arrow volleys, and the massive damage you can deal with the power shot and striker bows is totally unmatched. If there was ever a reason to get all the Banuk bows, besides the fact that they're just all around awesome, well, Fireclaws would be it. In the same vein, if you've got enough Blue Gleam, the Karja Blazon Master outfit would be a good investment for the additional fire resistance and extra mod slot. Finally, if you've got chill water and shards to burn, you can really have some fun with the Ice Rail. If you've completed the Geared Up quest so your Ice Rail can shoot ice cannon ammo, you'll find that the Ice Rail is actually one of the highest damage dealing weapons in the game. Load it up with damage mods and blast the Fireclaw's weak components from range while using concentration to land shots with sniper precision. Just be warned, you're going to use a ton of shards and chill water doing this, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Alright guys, that's my Master Machine Hunting guide for Fireclaws and the final video in our Zero Dawn Master Machine Hunting series. I love Horizon and it's a bit sad to be moving on after I've spent so much time in the Zero Dawn world. But Forbidden West is going to be such an awesome new adventure and it's really looking like it's going to be a seamless continuation of the Zero Dawn world we've all come to love. Of course, I'm going to be continuing this machine hunting series for all the new machines, but I plan to make lots of new content like tips and tricks videos as well. It will be awesome to go on that journey with you guys, so make sure you hit that secret red button down below, and while you're at it, hitting that like button would be awesome too. And as you guys start playing Forbidden West, please don't hesitate to leave me comments about videos you'd like to see. I want to make content that helps you guys out, so I love hearing those ideas. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the Forbidden West.